Hey guys, it's Archon. Welcome to Inferno Friday. This week we got a few updates related to Reaper of Souls, but before I get into that, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about me getting drunk last night. So as a lot of you guys know, I do a podcast, a Blizzard-related podcast every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, live on Twitch with Twiz, Reb, and Hoda. It's a lot of fun. I just want to remind you guys about the show and tell you a little bit about last night's show. It was a lot of fun because me and Reb ended up getting pretty drunk and then saying some dumb stuff. So it was pretty interesting. If you guys haven't checked out the show before, this might be a good episode to check out. It was a lot of fun, and you can get to know it. And if you don't have time to watch it, download the podcast on the website. I'll put links to both of them in the description, so if you want to watch it or listen to it, you can. But it's just something fun to listen to while you're driving or working out or whatever you want. Check out Twizcast, it's really cool. So anyways, we got a few updates this week. Most notably, we got a new patch on the PTR and beta client. It's a pretty small patch, mostly just class changes, but I thought I'd go over it real quickly for those of you who aren't keeping up on the patches, so you don't have to go and read it. A lot of different bug fixes, just a handful really. Barbarians got nerfed a little bit. It's just pretty much an across-the-board nerf. They got about 10% damage reduction to a handful of their skills. I'm guessing skills that were being used too often, but it sounded like, from what I've heard, that Barbs needed a little bit of a nerf. Again, it's not a big nerf, it's just a little flat, maybe 10% damage decrease, but I'm sure a lot of Barbs are going to be upset by that as well. They did reduce the Fury generation from some of the Fury generators. Demon Hunters, Monks, Witch Doctors, they just got some tuning, some buffs here, some nerfs there. Witch Doctors, Fire Bats, Cloud of Bats did get a nerf, down to 425% damage. I can't remember what it was at before that, but I think it's good that they nerfed that a little bit because it was just being used by a lot of Witch Doctors. The other Fire Bat runes weren't being used at all. Other than that, it got mostly buffs, I would say, but it's here and there. The Wizard got crazy buffed. Lots of buffed. Significant buff to Energy Twister, which is good because Energy Twister was just horrible. So I want to play around with that, see if it's worth it now. Ray of Frost, Disintegrate, Arcane Torrent all got buffed. Arcane Torrent's actually starting to look pretty good. It might actually be a skill that people use, surprisingly. So cool to see Wizards getting buffed, but overall just minor tuning, not any big changes. Paragon, they reduced the amount of crit chance you get per point from 0.2 to 0.1, which was needed. Crit chance was just the go-to place to put your points. Crafting had some bugs fixed, and overall crafting got a little bit better, just like last patch. Good to see that crafting items might be useful. Then in the beta patch, Barbarians, just another small Fury generation nerf. Crusaders overall just got tuned, some nerfs, some buffs. Their Steed Charge runes got a big damage buff here, 150 to 550% weapon damage, 200 to 125% weapon damage. I guess they figured it's okay if Steed Charge does some good damage. It's not like you're going to use it as your main attack or anything, or that you could. Overall, just tuning. Buffs and nerfs. Fist of the Heaven got a pretty big buff to Heaven Tempest. Damage increased from 65 to 150 damage per second in the pool area. It was a less popular skill rune for Fist of the Heavens. Demon Hunter, nothing big there. Same with Monk. Just mostly little tuning things, like I said a million times already. Transmogrify is now 50,000 gold instead of 500,000. Pretty small patch, but I thought I'd tell you about it anyways. And there's one blue post that I found pretty interesting from Grimiku. He was responding to Chaos, who was talking about crafting mats and gems being picked up automatically, which is something that a lot of us have thought about. It'd be cool if you could just walk over gems and crafting mats and they get picked up the same way that gold does. And it looks like they're thinking about doing that. In fact, after reading Grimiku's post, which is linked below, if you want to read it, I'm pretty sure they're planning on doing this, but they said it wouldn't be until after Reaper of Souls ships. So who knows when the change will come, but it looks like they're planning on making the UI for crafting mats more like blood shards. They wouldn't even take up inventory space. They would just show up as an inventory, as a currency on your inventory. They said gems will still work the way they do right now. They like that you have to actually take the gem and put it into the socket. But crafting mats, you'll be able to just walk over and pick them up, and they'll be like currency. So I think that's a really good change. It'll take a lot of the headache out of crafting. The one thing I would also like, which I'm pretty sure you won't get, is an option to make it so that white items and blue items just automatically turn into crafting mats instead of having to pick them up and then take them back and salvage them, because I don't think that's fun. It's just not. It's not rewarding. picking up blues and whites to salvage them. I don't know. So that'd be cool if that was an option, since there's really no other use for whites and blues right now, but I doubt they would do that because that would kind of just take blue and white items out of the game. But those were the two big posts I thought I would share with you guys. Happy Valentine's Day to anyone who cares about Valentine's Day, and stop by my live stream. I'm actually going to be live streaming around 2 p.m. today. My live stream's linked below. It's going to be a pretty cool stream. I can't say much yet, but stop by and I'll have a highlight of it if you're not there. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll have another one for you soon.